Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
You can hear me okay? My heart is filled with many emotions this Shabbat. I'm somewhere between joyful and tearful. This is a special moment, and I'm quite saddened by it. No one likes a goodbye. Though above all else, I am grateful for this incredible community. It's hard to believe this day has arrived. For months, I have been in a deep sense of denial that this day would ever come, when it was time to say farewell. And of all the sermons and addresses that I've prepared here at Holy Blossom, this one has perhaps been the most difficult to write. How does a rabbi go about expressing their thoughts as they leave the congregation that they have served and the people whom they have come to know and dearly love? So if you will allow me to step away from the traditional sermon, I'd like to share a letter that I wrote to you, my Holy Blossom family. Dear friends, today is an emotional day, a transitional day. It marks both an end and a beginning. It is an important moment to name in the life of this storied congregation. I feel exceptionally grateful and admittedly a bit unworthy of including my name amongst the historical Jewish giants whose leadership elevated Holy Blossom into the international arena and whose shoulders we now stand upon. I have been moved so deeply and learned so deeply. It is strange to think that we have only been in each other's lives for 3 years, though the brevity of this day does not reflect the depth of our relationship. Today marks a leaving, but not a complete separation, for I will keep Holy Blossom with me wherever my rabbinate brings me. I only hope that I have impacted this community even half as much as it has affected me. In my first few years of the rabbinate, you taught me that there is a big difference between being a rabbi and being someone's rabbi. Someone with whom members of the temple can celebrate with in moments of simcha, someone who will be there in times of hardship. And I am grateful for the tremendous privilege and responsibility this congregation has bestowed upon me, and for the trust you placed in me when bringing your loved ones to the resting places, visiting with mourners. We have been through the collective trauma of coping with COVID-19 together, and for that we will forever be connected. It has also been an honor beyond expression to stand beneath the chuppah with many wedding couples, to bring new Jewish souls to the waters of the mikveh, to call b'nei mitzvah to Torah, to bring many little blossoms into the covenant, including my own sons Abe and Ira. It is impossible to list by name all the exceptional people that I've had the privilege of working with. And so I am proud of the wonderful programs and the initiatives that we ran together during my time here. It was a pleasure collaborating with many incredible lay leaders, many of whom are with us here in the sanctuary today and many joining online as well. The Israel Engagement Committee, the Luke Sklar Mental Health Initiative, Mondays at the Temple, and now Dorot, the Kor Cholim Committee, the Young Adult Division, and so many more. COVID did not make things easy on us, but together we thought creatively, we reimagined, innovated, and succeeded in engaging our congregation in new and important ways. We elevated Holy Blossom's Israel's engagement with Israel dialogues and dynamic speakers. We fostered the future Jewish leadership of this community with the Emerging Jewish Leadership Institute. We brought comfort and renewal of spirit with our pre-Shabbat healing and meditation circles. We engaged the wisdom generation with the sunsetting of the Mondays at the Temple and the exciting new launch of Dorot. We undertook the sacred work of mental health awareness and destigmatization with the Luke Sklar Mental Health Initiative. We learned together and led together, and for that our community is stronger, and I have been forever changed by your good counsel and your friendship. As I was reflecting back on my time at Holy Blossom, I found and read the first sermon I delivered here in this sacred space. The text I taught that Shabbat is as relevant today as it was then, a text we just learned from Rabbi Tepper. We read from Pirkei Avot, Ben Zoma Omer, Ezehu Chacham, Halomed Mikol Adam. Ben Zoma says, who is the wise one? The one who learns from all people. And this piece of Mishnah has remained for me a constant truth during my time as your rabbi. It served as a reminder that we all have something to teach and we all have something to learn. And being a rabbi at Holy Blossom Temple has given me the distinct pleasure of learning and growing from so many different people. This congregation is defined by many things. It is defined by its storied history, its vision for tomorrow, its inclusive spirit. But ultimately, Holy Blossom is defined by its congregants. You confirmed why relational Judaism must be at the center of Jewish communal life and the sacred work of the rabbinate. You, good people, are the lifeblood of this storied institution, and I will miss you dearly. I look to the many mentors in my life as I've grown professionally and spiritually. Rabbi Spolansky, how can I begin to thank you? There has never been a more genuine mensch. You showed me that how you make someone feel, I'm going to look this way, but I'm talking to you. How you make someone feel is often more important than the exact words that you say. And somehow, you always have exactly the right words to say. And in so many instances, you have helped me sharpen my speech as well. From you, Rabbi, I have learned the value of fostering and maintaining relationships, that no rabbi is an island, and that we are most successful when we utilize our community partners. You took a chance on this Southern boy, fresh out of rabbinical school, and brought me to the great white north. And for that, I am forever grateful. And from across the pond, Rabbi Jordan Helfman, if you're watching, it's okay if you're not. I'm exceptionally appreciative of your mentorship as well. You reflected on your time at Holy Blossom saying, I have taught some and learned much. I could not agree more with my own experience. I have learned deeply, fostered meaningful relationships, and have felt the warm embrace of this community, even through the pandemic. It was an absolute honor and privilege to launch my rabbinate beside incredible rabbis and cantors like you, Benny Meisner, David Rosen, Bill Tepper, Lindy Rivers. You and I, Jordan, can feel confident knowing that we are leaving the congregation in the capable and compassionate hands of Rabbis Spolansky, Kay, and McCarroll. My dear friends, you taught me that a rabbi is many things. I have always loved teaching and learning, asking challenging questions, and growing by attempting to respond to them. Whether in a Melton or Hartman classroom, preaching from a pulpit, learning one-on-one, I understand a rabbi to be a teacher. And it has been my honor to lead services and to provide spiritual moments for congregants as well as for myself. You taught me that worship takes many forms, and people connect to the divine in a variety of ways. I also understand a rabbi to be a shliach tzibur, a guide and a leader. There is a parable that I know you are familiar with, but I'm going to share it anyway, because I believe it to be incomplete and I hope to expand. If you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. And if you teach a man to teach a man to fish, you can end hunger. If you teach how to teach, your impact is boundless. For nearly 2 centuries, this Jewish community has been teaching rabbis how to teach. The word rabbi translates directly as my teacher. And Holy Blossom, among many other things, is a real-world classroom for the future rabbis of the Reform movement. This very pulpit has been the launch pad for the careers of countless rabbis, helping him or her to grow and learn and to teach better. From Eisendrath to Feinberg, Plaut, Marmer, and Spolansky, Holy Blossom is built on rabbinic excellence. In fact, just before I arrived and shared with my classmates where I was heading to begin my career, one of my colleagues said, "Oh, Holy Blossom, the place where the Torah was written." It's an unbelievable privilege to have learned with and from all of you over these years. I want to extend my deepest appreciation and praises to be a part of this community, a community of teachers and learners. When you teach a rabbi how to teach and lead, you create a very powerful legacy for yourselves, and I admire you for it. Sincerely yours, as always, RZG. And so, with mixed emotions, I must draw to a close. I'd like to leave you with these words that I found solace in over the past few months. Rabbi Norman Hirsch writes, I said I was going to cry later. Rabbi Norman Hirsch writes, "Once or twice in a lifetime, a man or a woman may choose a radical leaving. Having heard Lech Lecha, go forth, God disturbs us toward our destiny by hard events and by freedom's now urgent voice, which explode and confirm who we are. We don't like leaving, but God loves becoming." Shabbat Shalom.